Hello everybody, you're welcome to today's video. My name is Frank, I'm a professional vocal coach, and today I have an exciting subject for you, especially if you love melismas. Another name for melisma is riffs and runs. Okay, so today I'm going to show you just one runs. If you know it, you can do 10 other or even more different other runs from just this one basic runs. Are you ready for it? Now let me assume that by now you would have learned your pentatonic scales. Very easy. So it goes do, re, mi, sol, la, do, la, sol, mi, re, do. Okay, so the fa and the ti are absent from the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You may already know by now. You should know it by now if you watch my videos. Okay, so that's the pentatonic scale, and amazing enough, most riffs and runs are based on this special scale. Yep. And one of the benefits of pentatonic scale, doing your runs on pentatonic scale, is that no matter where they are in the music, no matter what chord they are in, whether it sounds like this, whether like this, whether the fourth chord, whether the fifth chord, whether the second chord, whether the third chord, it's gonna sound in tune. That's the beautiful thing about the same runs is gonna sound in tune in all of them. Okay, so pentatonic scale is just amazing. So back to the subject. Now, what is this special runs? Then out of it, you can create several other different ones just by tweaking it a little bit. Okay, so here it is. So we have mi, re, do, la, sol. All right, mi, re, do, la, sol. Okay, so the first one, the mi, is the original melodies from the original melody. I don't normally count that as one of the notes because in the melody of the song, you could have fa and you could also have the ti. So that's the starting point, okay? And then when you begin to do your runs, that's when you apply the pentatonic scale, okay? So for instance, you're singing, you are God of all creation, sovereign God, the great I am. The M is not a member of the pen. It's not part of the runs, okay? It's just a starting point. And then after that, you begin to do your runs based on the pentatonic scale. So what am I trying to say? You could have a T there, you could have a fa there in the original melody, and then you begin to do your runs in the pentatonic scale. So for instance, you can have fa, and I can do a runs on that, beginning from that. Fa, 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 mi, re, do, la, sol. Did you hear that? So the fa is from the original melody of the song, and then I do runs from there. But remember, I said most runs are based on the pentatonic scale, but not all, okay? Very skillful singers would do runs that include the fa and the ti, and that takes extra skill because these ones you have to watch where you are in the song, unlike the pentatonic scale, okay? So again, fa. Fa, fa. Okay, so ooh, ooh. So you heard the T, right? The T was there. And for me, I think it has a kind of bluesy feel to it. Okay. Let's go back to the subject. So these notes are just 4 note bend downs, okay? That form the runs. So the original note is mi. Mi, re, do, la, sol. All right. So let's practice it. Mi, re, do, la, sol. Let's go again. 1 to go. Mi, re, do, la, sol. Now you can replace it with different vowels. Oh, go. Oh, go. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. ooh, E, E. Now let's try doing it faster, okay? So we go, oh, oh, go, oh, go, oh, ooh, go, ooh, E, E, and so on and so forth. So I won't really do exercises on this from one speed to another and then another till we get to the correct speed, because what we're trying to get to is oh, oh, ooh, E. All right? That's super fast and it takes a bit of time and a lot of practice. Okay? If you put in the practice, you'll be able to train your vocal cords to do exactly that. All right? And remember, when you're doing your riffs and runs, you don't slur the notes. Then it won't be riffs and runs. It will be totally something else. It's going to sound like this. Oh, oh. That can never be a runs, okay? So you have to use what we call a delineation. That one, I use the legato. Oh, that's a legato, okay? Legato is when notes are smoothly connected. You can't really separate the notes or tell where one note changes to another. And then we have staccato. Oh, 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 where you have spaces between the notes. We don't need that either. Okay, so the one we need is delineation. It's called delineation, which is like a middleman. Okay, so it's oh, now you can count the notes. And when you're learning these things, some singers can be super fast, like I did a couple of minutes ago. What you have to do is record it. Maybe use your phone, because most phones come with recording devices that allows you to slow it down. Why do you slow it down? So you can detect every single note used in the runs. Because at that pace, super fast pace, you won't be able to score it. Scoring it means identifying every single note and maybe break it down in solfege. Okay, so when you slow it down, practice it from a low speed, a slow speed, because that's what your vocal cords can do at that time, okay? And when you are comfortable with that, you speed it up a little bit and then speed it up a little bit. Now, this process might take you a couple of weeks, okay? Because it's like going to the gym. You train your muscles and you don't get to the goal in one day, all right? To the a year's goal in one day, all right? You go gradually and exceed your past. And so on and so forth. All right. So that's the note. Mi, re, do, la, sol. That's it. So if we use it, we used it in that song, right? So I'm gonna go to the first point. All right. Remember, I said you can form several other different runs just by minor tweakings to this. Mi, re, do, la, sol. All right. So the first one is change up the rhythm at the first or second note or even third note. Yeah. Now, before we go on, what is rhythm? Now, rhythm is formed by different duration of pitch. All right. Remember, pitch is sound. Do, re, mi, ah, right? But when you begin to make some longer and some shorter, you have a rhythm. Okay. So when we go back to mi, re, do, la, sol, they are all equal length. All right. Now remember, we have several of note duration. We have the semi-brief, as it is called here in Europe or in the UK. All right. Semi-brief, which lasts for a whole bar. A whole bar contains 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you make a sound and hold it for the length of that 4 beats, that is a semi-brief. That's it. And then after that, minim. We have the minim, which is half of the semi-brief. All right. And then we have the crotchet, which is 1. Now you get the idea, right? That's it. And then we have the 8. Okay, in America, the whole note is what semi-brief is called, and then the minim is called a half note, and then crotchet is called the quarter note, and then we have the 8, yeah, and so on and so forth. We could have the 16 and all that. Okay, that's super fast. Okay, so coming back to rhythm, we went mi, re, do, la, sol, ooh, ooh. Now let's make one of them longer. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You see, it's beginning to sound a little bit different. Okay, so we can make any one of them longer. Ooh, ooh. So let's say all of them were initially quavers. Ooh. Just make one of them longer, double the length. Okay, okay. So you have ooh, ooh. Let's see if we can apply it to the same song. You are God of all creation, sovereign God, the great I am. Did you hear that? The great I am. Okay, so it sounds different, but what we still did is mi, re, do, la, sol, but we just made one of them longer. There you go. So now let's go to the second one. The second one is add one note above it, or two notes. You see, you can form several patterns with this. This number 2, you can make 3 other runs out of this by adding 1 or 2 or 3. So I grouped some of them like this number 2. Okay, if you add 1, that's a pattern. If you add 2 notes at the top, that's another pattern. If you add 3 notes at the top, that's another pattern. Okay, so let's study this. Let's apply it. Okay, so we have the original notes will always refer back to the original note, which is mi, re, do, la, sol, ooh. 1 note at the top. So if you are familiar with your pentatonic scale, by now you should know what's at the top. All right, so what's above the mi? Did I hear you say a sol? Then you're correct. Okay, so we have mi, sol, mi, re, do. So when you get to the sol, you begin to come back down, okay, till you get down to the sol in the lower octave. Mi, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol. Simple. All right, so not fa. Remember, there's no fa in the pentatonic scale. Okay, so it's gonna sound like this. Ooh, ooh, ee. Let's practice that. Okay, let's slow it down a little bit. Okay, we go. Ooh, go. Ooh, go. Ooh, one more time. Ooh. That's number 2. And now let's apply it. You are God of all creation, sovereign God, the great I am. Yeah. Mi, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol. It's really cool, isn't it? Okay, so let's go to the next one. The next one is a combination of 1 and 2. I told you. Let's refer back to the original one. Mi, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol, right? So we said number 1 is change up the rhythm by making 1 longer, okay? And we did that. And then number 2 is add a note or 2 above it. By the way, we didn't add 2 notes above it. How is it gonna sound? Okay, before we come back to this point 3, we said mi, sol, that's 1 note at the top. If we add 1 more, oh, the more notes you add to these things, I'm telling you, the more technical it sounds. All right, so we can add a la above the sol, because in the scale of pentatonic, in this pentatonic scale, la is above the sol. Okay, so we have mi, sol, la, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol. All right, so ooh, that's how it's gonna sound. Mi, sol, la, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol. Okay, but that's a bit technical. You can stick to 1 for now. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is combination of, like I said, 1 and 2. So it's gonna sound different from what we did in 2, because 2 is still the second point is adding 1 note at the top. So it's gonna bring a different feel to it, and it's gonna feel like you're doing something different. Meanwhile, you're really not. You're just tweaking it a little bit. So we have in number 2, mi, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol. Now you can make one of them longer. All right, make one of them maybe a crotchet. Mi, sol, mi, re, do, la, sol. Ooh, oh, ee. In that song, the vowel there, you need to know all these things and practice them in all vowels. So the vowel there, God of all creation, sovereign God, where I am. So which one did I make longer? Is the so, mi, re, do, la, so. All right, and it sounds different from number 2.2. You are God of all creation, sovereign God, the great I am, and so on. Okay, so that is point 3. We're moving on. All right, so point 4 now. Add 1 or 2 notes below it. This one is simple. If you know your pentatonic scale, this shouldn't be hard. Okay, so the original one, remember we always refer back to the original one, is mi, re, do, la, so. Let's go further down. Below the so is the mi. We bypass the fa. Remember, pentatonic scale, bypass the fa. Mi, re, do, la, so, mi. All right, the more notes you add, remember, the more technical you sound. And this may not come in one day. All right, I learned 4 first. All right, and when I wanted to add an extra note, I had to practice and practice and practice and practice and stabilize on the 5 notes down. And then 6, I still have to practice. You see that? So adding 1 note at the bottom takes us down to the mi. Mi, re, do, la, so, mi. Ooh. And doing it fast. Ooh. All right, so let's practice it. Ooh. Go. Ooh. E. E, 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 O, 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 O. All right, let's take it further down because I said 1 or 2 notes. Let's go far. The only thing that can stop you actually is your range, because the deeper you go, the further down you go, the closer you get to your lowest range. Okay, so let's add 1, another one. Mi, re, do, la, so, mi, re. All right. Ooh, ooh. Isn't that amazing? All right. So let's practice that. Mi, re, do, la, so, mi, re. Let's do it in ooh. Ooh. Go. Ooh. Nice. We can't even get to the do. Ooh. Ooh, again. Ooh, E, E. So try to practice it and make it faster and get to ooh. All right. All right. So let's go to the next one, which is add 1 note above it and 1 note below it. All right. Same original 4 notes, just tweaking it a little, just by adding 1 note above it and 1 note below it, you create something different. All right, so we have mi, re, do, la, so. Adding 1 note above it is mi, so, mi, re, do, la, so. Adding 1 note below it is mi, so, mi, re, do, la, so, mi. Amazing. Ooh, ooh. Amazing, isn't it? Okay, so I'm sure you've heard professionals sing with these kind of runs. Yeah, that's the secret. Just know your pentatonic scale. All right, and practice, 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 practice. Yes. So the next one, oh, this happens to be one of my best. Woohoo! This one happens to be one of my best. When I made this discovery, I was like, wow, I discovered something really great. Okay, so repeat any 2 notes. You know we've been going, again, refer back to the original. Mi, re, do, la, so. All right, so you can repeat any 2 and continue on your way. So let's repeat mi, re, do, la, so. Amazing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Isn't that incredible? You are God of all creation, sovereign God, the great I am, the great I am. Amazing. All right. Mi, re, do, la, sol. Up to speed. That's what we get. Okay. And you can even do it 3 times there. Trust me, you can. Mi, re, do, la, sol. But this time I'm going to vary the speed. Okay. The first mi, re might be slow or would be slow. Sovereign God, the great I am. Incredible. So I went, yeah, that's 3. Okay, let's practice it. 1, 2, go. Yeah, that's it. All right. So here's the beautiful part. You can decide to double up another place in this runs. So we went mi, re, do, la, sol. I'm going back to 2, okay, at the top. Mi, re, do, la, sol, la, sol. Did you hear what I did? I did it too in the mi, re. I repeated mi, re, and I repeated la, sol. Okay, so we have mi, re, do, la, sol, la, sol. Let's do it together. Ooh. Yeah, that's it. I was checking if I ended at the mi, but it was so. All right. So mi, re, do, la, sol, la, sol. Ooh. Again. Ooh. All right. That's beautiful. Ooh. Amazing. Okay. So you can make it longer. Remember, the longer you get, the more complicated it sounds, the more technical it sounds. Okay, we can decide to go down to the mi. Mi, re, do, la, sol, mi, re, do. Mi, re, do, la, sol, mi, re, do. Ooh. Woo! That is incredible. Okay, so that is it. Very simple. Very simple. Okay, so practice, play back this video. The more you play it back, the more you understand, and the easier it gets. Yeah, because it comes with understanding as well. First of all, know it. Next, understanding, and then fly. Before we go, why don't we try it on other examples? Start at other points in the song. Yeah. Okay, so another example, the breath of life. Now life ends with a fa. The life is a fa. All right, so you can do your riffs and runs there. Now there's a video I did and I told you can bend the notes right after the first note. All right, most times I like it going from an open vowel la into E, because life is a diphthong. Okay, life. At what point do you bend the notes? Most times I prefer bending it at the second note, except it sounds awkward when I bend it early. Then I sing it all the way through and bend it at very last note. So let's sing bending it on the second note. The breath of life. In this case, I'll bend it later. Life. Both works, but I prefer, most times doing the riffs and runs. If I have the opportunity to do it on a closed vowel, I like it. All right, it's more controlled. It's kind of sweet. Okay, so how about the T? If we have a T, oh, T do, yep, T do. I want to stick to the key of F. T do. Ooh. Okay, so if we want to apply one of the styles to this, let's say we go, the original note is T in the melody, right? And we want to add one at the top and begin to come down. All right, we have T do, la, sol, mi, re, do. Ooh. All right, now you can even make one note longer. Ooh. All right. Now you can even make it longer. Ooh, ooh. Okay? So that will be it. So you can do it from T, anywhere the melody is, you can actually do it from there. Pentatonic scale is just amazing. So don't forget to practice, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
You can now extend your voice to reach really high notes. Eliminate voice breakage, become a more confident singer.
With you, I feel impossible. With you, I feel impossible.
Develop a rich tone quality, have more control when you sing, and so much more by purchasing a copy of the best and most affordable voice training lesson from our website called Singing with Freedom. Go to www.thevocallexicon.co.uk and click the shop page and select the singing lesson called Singing with Freedom. Congratulations!
Multiplication is unworthy.